back-to-back updates from Google as they release another Google Core update. You can see the announcement just from a few hours ago. They've announced that the December 2024 Core update is rolling out and we expect it will complete in 2 weeks. If you're wondering why there's a Core update this month after one last month, we have different core systems we're always improving. This blog post explains more. We'll come on to that in a minute. You can see some of the interesting reactions that we have right here. And this is wild, to be fair. There's just so many updates going on this year. So if you want to check this out, see what the status is, how long it's rolling out for, etc., you can go to the Google search status dashboard. In fact, if you want an SOP on all of this, on all the details, etc., just check the free SEO course, link in the comments description, and then log in, check out the update section, and it's all there. But basically, you can see the November Core update was rolled out on the 11th of November 2024. That lasted 23 days. And so the December 2024 Core update was just rolled out. If you want to see more information on that, I'll come on to it in a second. But you can see there's been a lot of Core updates this year. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus we got the spam updates. Crazy times, people. Crazy times. Now, if you want to see the Q&A on search updates, so essentially a Core update is like a holistic update of all the metrics across your whole site. So it's not going to be just targeting links. It's not just going to be targeting authority or something like that. It's pretty much the whole of your site. And so these are like the fundamentals of your site. And you can see here, Google explain it as several times a year, Google makes significant broad changes to our search algorithms and systems. We refer to these as core updates, and we give notice when they happen on our list, right? And that was that list we just covered with all the latest updates right here. So you can go back and see all the previous history, all the previous years, etc. Now, one of the other things as well is like a lot of people don't even realize these happen. So for example, this isn't necessarily going to impact your rankings, but some websites do take a hit during these times. Now, if you're wondering, okay, how do they work? So basically, as you can see by Google, they've explained core updates are designed to ensure that overall we're delivering on our mission to present helpful and reliable results for searchers. They're pretty broad in nature, they don't target specific sites, and they don't target individual web pages. So basically, this is very broad. For example, one way to think about a core update is like you're asking for your friends' top food recommendations, and obviously that's going to change year to year, right? It's not always going to be the same list. Now, there's an easy way to check if you've taken a hit from your site, but I would wait until it's finished rolling out. So as we were talking about before, this core update has just been released. It's pretty new, 12th of December. That might take anywhere between 2 weeks to 4 weeks to actually roll out. And one of the things to note here is like you want to wait until after the core update is rolled out before you make any drastic changes or really worry about the volatility of your rankings. So during these times, like rankings can be very up and down. Here's a site built by Autoblogging, for example. You can see it anyway. Just in general, the rankings are very volatile because it's a new site. Google's testing it. And then during these sort of core updates, so for example, if we look at November, you can see the site was hitting like 109 clicks, core update released, boom, down to 70, and then back up and it recovers. So don't make any drastic changes. Look at the trend over months, not weeks or days, and that will help you make better informed decisions that are logical, not emotional. So that's stage number 1. Confirm the update has finished rolling out. Keep an eye out on the search updates, and then you want to compare the dates, right? So you can, for example, compare like before and after the update, and you can see, okay, is the traffic dropped? Is it volatile? Is it not, etc.? Have my rankings recovered after this period? Now, if you do take a drop in rankings, so you do see your traffic take a drop after the core update has rolled out, and you can see a clear correlation between the core update's release and your rankings taking a hit, then what you should do is review your top pages and queries. So for example, there's going to be 2 types of drops here: small drops, large drops. Small drops are like going from 2 to 4, etc. That is going to impact traffic quite a lot in terms of click-through rates, but the ones that you want to do a deeper assessment on are drops from like position 4 to 29, etc. We'll come on to how to do a deeper assessment in a minute. And then you want to analyze the different search types differently as well. So for example, you got web search, Google Images, video mode, or the news tab. And also you got to bear in mind here, there's a lot of volatility right now with the holiday season. So for example, if you're like a B2B business, then your traffic's probably going to be quite low around the new year and holiday season. Or if you're an e-commerce store, your traffic might be super high during Black Friday and during the holiday season, but then it drops again in January when people are not looking to spend so much. So you got to bear in mind, there's not just the updates that are going along with your traffic, but also the seasonality and trends that are happening in your industry too. Now, if you get a large drop in position, let's say your website takes a big hit in traffic, then Google actually have a link to a self-assessment where you can ask yourself a bunch of questions to really assess, okay, is your content good or not? So for example, does the content provide like original information or analysis or research? Is it actually insightful beyond what's already ranking out there and beyond what's already the obvious? This is one of the things that I would say with AI, like informational content, money content in general, and blogs, they have have value, if you're creating something of value that's number one, personalized to you and your brand, but number two, actually provides something insightful beyond what AI can just do inside the Google AI overviews. If you're doing that, then you're veering on the safer side of creating content in a sustainable way. And those are some of the content quality questions. Now, there's many different examples of what you can ask yourself. So as well, you got like expertise questions, and also, is your content people first or search engine first, right? For example, are you just optimizing for the algorithm to rank, or are you actually creating content that people would genuinely find useful? And that's what brings them on to the next point, which is basically, is the content primarily made to attract visitors from search engines, or are you creating content to actually help the person and solve their problems when they're searching on Google? So there's a lot of sassy questions in there you can ask yourself to get some insights into how to improve your content, how to improve the fundamentals of your website, and how to recover your rankings. But the thing to note here as well is, like, number one, core updates are very impactful for a lot of people if you get hit by them. Number two, if you get hit by a core update, right? This is time and this is SEO traffic. Let's say your traffic takes a hit during the core update, right? Core update hits over here. The thing is, your website will now be in a negative trajectory, which means until the fundamentals on your site are deemed as fixed by Google, which will only be decided on the next few core updates, your site will tend to drift down in traffic and tend to be on a negative trajectory, right? Negative ranking state. And so something to bear in mind here is this is not a quick fix, right? So even if you improve every single page on your website and genuinely make it as helpful, reliable, and people first as you can, does not guarantee that your rankings are going to bounce back, because it could be 6 months or 9 months or 12 months before the core update rolls out again, which is where you may see another increase in traffic. So it's pretty brutal stuff, to be honest with you. And I wish you the best. Now, if we actually check the volatility SERP indexes, you can see, for example, Wincher is a free volatility index. This is inside all the video notes from today. Free SEO course, link in the comments description. Comes with a whole module on Google core updates and how to handle them properly. You can see the current volatility on Wincher is normal, so I can't see any wild fluctuations yet. But obviously, it's still very early days. It's been less than 24 hours since Google announced the update. If we move on to SEMrush, you can see that actually the volatility started spiking around the 4th of December, and now we're still in the high range, right? So for the last week or so, the volatility of the SERPs and SEO in general, still very volatile. Usually during a core update, this is in the high range, and it will stay in the high range before and after the core update is announced as rolling out and finished. Now, if your site does get hit, if your site's rankings do drop, then one of the things you can evaluate is just focusing on not all of the pages on your site, but the pages that were most impacted. Now, that's because for most sites, 80% of their traffic comes from the top 20% of their pages. And number two, this stops you having to evaluate, say, hundreds of pages or dozens of pages. You just focus on the ones where the traffic dropped the most. You can do that inside Google Search Console, for example, and then use those self-assessment questions we covered earlier today. Now, it is still early days right now with the core update rolling out. If you do make any changes on your site, like I said, it could be the next update or the update after that before you see any improvements in your site, before it gets back into a positive ranking state. Just something to bear in mind. This is not an easy fix. They do say on the page that there's supposed to be no updates during the holiday shopping season, especially late November to mid-December. I'm guessing that's not the case this year because we got core updates in November and December. So this is definitely a bit of an outlier situation. All right, so like I was saying before, here's basically my guide to dealing with core updates. Again, this is inside the free course, link in the comments description. Comes with 200 tutorials and SPs on how to do SEO. But you can see, for example, you want to stay, number one, updated on the core updates and what's going on. That's going to take 2 to 4 weeks. Additionally, expect volatility. Don't be surprised if your rankings are all over the place. Monitor your rankings. Realize there's a 1 to 2 day lag inside Google Search Console, and don't make any immediate changes, right? Give it like at least 2 to 4 weeks after the core update, because your rankings can still fluctuate during the time after the core update has finalized. Then you want to identify some patterns. I'll show you how to do that, along with a content self-assessment, which we've got some questions on right here. And then just always be working on your fundamentals of the site, right? It's super important stuff. And just to recap, like, what is a core update? Core update is basically analyzing the core fundamentals of your website, and it can make your rankings very volatile. How often are they released? Typically like every few months, but right now, November and December, there have been back-to-back core updates rolling out. If you're wondering how long it takes, about 2 to 4 weeks. If your rankings drop, wait for it to roll out. To improve your fundamentals, use the self-assessment questions I was talking about earlier. And is recovery guaranteed if you improve your website's fundamentals? Absolutely not. It will improve your chances, but it will not be guaranteed. And if you want some ideas on how to check the volatility of the SERPs and which niches have been affected, you can see that right here inside the SEMrush sensor. So you can see on the left-hand side all these different niches. And even if your site does get hit, you can still make a full recovery. There's been plenty of examples of that, but don't make any immediate changes and make sure you stay up to date. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to my free SEO course, this comes with nearly 200 lessons on how to do SEO, as you can see right here. Loads of cool stuff in there, including a free community, keyword research, you got link building tutorials, quality control methods, topical maps, SEO systems, loads of free SEO tools in there as well. And if you scroll down to the update section, there's 4 different modules on how to handle Google core updates, along with some free tools for content humanization and internal links as well. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to put that link in the comments description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 business a month and generate thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. On this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a free SEO domination plan, discover the secrets of link building, we'll answer any questions you have, you'll learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank your competitors in link building, and how to 10x your SEO traffic based on what's working for us. If you have any questions about the Google core updates, etc., feel free to jump on that call as well, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers, bye.